Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report, and I'm here with Linda. And Linda, there's something you really wanted people to know about.
Yes.
Because you're with me every time I do these shows on the radio. You and I research stuff that we think people might be interested in, and
Yes, and that's very true, Don. And in fact, one of the questions that I had, it was an observation, really. I noted that your radio show has gone on now for probably 15 years, and so there's been an evolution of this process because the actual sport of fishing, but also the North Country, has evolved in that time period. So we were talking about this, and I said, Don, I think that there really has been an evolution of the radio show, and I wondered if you could talk about that more in terms of what you've seen as this has gone forward.
well, I remember when I was first asked to do a report on fishing years ago, it was just basically one to just throw some facts out of what people were doing, and that's a huge part of everything. So other people could know or hear about maybe their friends who caught this fish or the fish were really hitting in this area. And as I started to do this, I, put together a group of people that were avid fishermen or had radio, or not radio, but had fishing shops or whatever, that got a chance to talk to the public a lot. And I would try to get information from them. It's not always easy to get information on fishing because any fisherman that really values his fishing, it's all a secret. He wants to keep it all to themselves. That they really aren't eager to share that information. But as time has gone on, it's almost like I feel like I've developed like a family of people out there that listen. And I want to pass on all the things that has made fishing such a part of my life. And Linda, you've seen it. You've seen how fishing affects me. But I know, just to say that for somebody like me, I started as a 5-year-old kid, developed a love for fishing. That sort of characterized me in those years when I was growing up as a kid. And fishing has become my life beyond anything I can imagine. It's given me a way to go forward as an adult after suffering a huge brain injury in the Navy, which really limited what I could offer. And by using fishing, I was able to develop a TV show, and I could share that experience with other people.
And it's very true, Don, that in fact, during the years that we've worked together, I've actually seen an evolution in the entire process, because when we do the sports shows, which we do in the winter, a lot of what happens at those shows becomes part of your radio show, because you're reporting to folks in the North Country what we're seeing throughout the Northeast. So it really has grown and evolved into something where we're bringing the message of the Northeast to the North Country and all that we witnessed there.
And to the rest of the country as well.
Yes, that's very true.
The big thing for me is, and I want people to understand, is that fishing really is the core of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you see, when I come back from going fishing alone, you see a change in me.
Yes, I do. I see a person who feels rested, who feels like being in the outdoors has been so therapeutic for your soul. And I think we see this when we talk to folks at the sports shows, and I think we see this when we engage with young anglers who they get away from those screens, they get away from the television, and for however brief a period of time, they're literally in an environment that heals them. And so this is part of that whole evolution.
Well, I know also that you've witnessed that fishing has really brought me so many friends that I would have never known in life, except for that moments we've shared fishing.
And to me as well, because I've had a chance to engage with some of them, and it's been wonderful.
And so, fishing has brought you and me together.
Yes.
That's how we met.
That's right.
You were in charge of the Grass River Project.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and you attended a meeting on behalf of Joe Gray, so it was sort of serendipity, I guess.
Well, I guess so. Anyway, that's that's what we wanted to talk about today. Is to talk a little bit about how going through the years, this radio spot has changed because life has really changed. Fishing, playing a role in the North Country, has really changed the direction that we're going in the North Country. And I think fishing has changed too.
Yes, yes, and all of it for the better, I think, because if you become stagnant, you don't have a chance to grow. But the evolution has really meant so much to everyone who listens to your show.
Well, thank you, Linda. So until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.